She is a gang rape victim of the 2007-2008 post-election violence. She contracted the HIV virus after at least 8 men sexually abused her, and she is living with disability following that horrific ordeal. 8 years down the line, Jane, not her real name, narrates her story to Najma Ismael.
Eight years ago, Kenya was turned upside down due to a disputed presidential election. The country was a shadow of what it used to be. Ethnic violence cast a dark cloud with over 1,500 people killed, 600,000 displaced, and over 900 women raped. It is hard to believe that 8 years have passed since her horrific ordeal, and as some might remember the post-election violence vividly, for Jane, the memory remains fresh in her mind.
Usiku nilikuwa kwa nyumba. Nilikuwa peke yangu, bwana yangu hakuwa. Alafu watu wakakuja. Walikuwa wamefunga macho, wakabeba panga. Wa mbele hakuwa na hiyo ujasiri. Wa pili akamuuliza, "Bado unafanya nini na yeye?" Akanishika, akanisukuma, wakakata manguo. Wakaanza kunirepu. Walinirepu, walikuwa watu wengi.
One by one, the hooded men took turns at her. She couldn't put up a fight as the men overpowered her. They kept flashing their crude weapons on her face just to remind her to stop screaming. Since the country was in turmoil, no one dared to come to her rescue.
Ilikuwa ile nyakati ya kupigana, mimi ni hospitali nilikuwa naenda sababu kwa polisi singeweza.
That night, when her husband came home, her once blissful marriage changed forever. Jane's husband was so affected by his wife's ordeal, he refused to accept the circumstances and went into denial. And when Jane found out she had been infected with HIV, her husband became irrational.
Alikuwa tu wazimu, yeye anataka have sex bila condom. Hapo tu ndio nilikuwa namchukia, but anasema hiyo ni mapenzi yake juu anakunywa pombe. Akishalewa pombe inamwambia mimi ni bibi yake.
Jane's husband refused to take antiretroviral drugs and continued to seek solace in the bottle. He eventually died in 2009.
Akakataa madawa, akaambiwa atumie, akakataa, akasema alikuwa anakunywa pombe, akasema yeye bibi yake anataka aanze, atamaliza vile alianza nayo. Hatatumia kondom. Hata kama ni kifo atapata hapo, wacha kufe. Kitu nasikia uchungu ile siwezi explain sababu nimekuwa human disability sababu ya hiyo kitu.
It was uphill for Jane from here. She suffered a stroke that affected the entire left side of her body. She's unable to fend for herself.
Saa zingine mula na njaa. Mimi sina mtu wa kusaidia, na njaa. In most cases mwishi tu njaa. But nilirudi nikaokoka, nikasema kwa hayo yote nipende Mungu, juu Mungu amenipenda kushinda binadamu.
Jane gets intimately lonely most of the time, but says she's not ready to commit herself to any man.
Wale wananitaka. Naambia niko na virusi, hawataki kujua. Niambia hiyo virusi yangu ndio wanataka juu. Ni hiyo yangu niko sikai mtu, niko nakaa mtu, niko na virusi.
Many survivors of rape during the post-election chaos said their attackers used guns, sticks, bottles and other crude objects to sexually assault them. Many were raped in the presence of family members, including young children.
I'd really like the government to refocus their attention on the rape victims, especially victims and survivors of the rape, of the post-election violence, and to remove the politics away. We were just victims of circumstances actually, and we survived the experiences of being raped. Some of us gang raped, some of us raped by policemen, some of us raped by just gangsters and hooligans during that time. And I'd like to dissociate the politics from it and actually just let the government know that we need justice for the survivors.
Only a few people have been prosecuted for the sexual violence during the post-election violence period. A report from a Truth, Justice and Reconciliation Commission completed in 2013 is yet to be adopted by Parliament. Najma Ismael, KTN News.